Hello, my name is Hannah Gonzalez. Today I'll be presenting about the Everglades restoration in South Florida. I'm recording on my iPad and I have my presentation here. It's just I don't have a webcam on my PC. Um, the Everglades, it's one of the most unique ecosystems in the world and plays a vital role in protecting wildlife. Sorry, providing clean water and supporting Florida's economy. In this presentation, I will discuss what the Everglades are, why they have been damaged over time, and how those changes affect both the environment and people, um, and the restoration efforts that have been helping to protect this important part of ecosystem for future generations. The Everglades are the largest subtropical ecosystem in the United States. They stretch from Lake Okeechobee through South Florida and eventually reach Florida Bay. They're often called the River of Grass because water slowly flows south through a wide landscape of marshes and wetlands. Um, this ecosystem is home to hundreds of species plants, fish, birds, reptiles, and mammals. Many of these species are found nowhere else in the world. Besides supporting wildlife, the Everglades provide clean drinking water for millions of South Florida residents, reduce flooding during heavy rains, and support tourism and recreation. Because of its environmental and economic importance, protecting and restoring the Everglades has become one of the largest environmental restoration efforts in the world. Um, to understand why restoration is necessary, it's important to understand how the Everglades function. The Everglades are a freshwater wetland ecosystem where water moves very slowly from north to south. I'm sorry, my cat is. This slow movement filters pollutants naturally, replenishes groundwater, and create habitats for a wide variety of plants and animals. The Everglades also provide many ecosystem services. They provide water quality by filtering contaminants, reduce flood by storing excess water, and protect biodiversity by providing habitat for wildlife. Because so many environmental processes depend on healthy wetlands, damage to the Everglades affect both nature and people. Over the past century, human activity have significantly changed the Everglades. One major cause has been urban development, and as South Florida population has increased, wetlands were drained to build home, businesses, and roads. Agriculture has also had a major impact. Large farming areas required canals and pumps that redirected water away from the natural wetlands. Another important problem is pollution. Fertilizers used on farms contain phosphorus, which enters the wetland through runoff and changes plant communities. Invasive species also threaten the ecosystem. Animals such as Burmese pythons prey on native wildlife, while invasive plants replace native vegetation. Finally, climate change. It's creating additional stress through rising temperatures, changing rainfall patterns, stronger storms, and sea level rise. Together, all these factors have greatly reduced the health of the Everglades. The environmental impacts of these changes have been severe. Habitat loss, cause declines in many native species, including the Florida panther, American crocodile, wood stork, and snail kite. Many animals depend on specific water levels to survive and reproduce. Changes in water flow have disrupted breeding areas for fish and birds. Poor water quality encourages harmful algae growth and damages native vegetation. During dry periods, wetlands become more vulnerable to wildfires, while invasive species continue to spread into new areas. Overall, these environmental changes reduce biodiversity and weaken the ability of the Everglades to support healthy ecosystems. The Everglades are not only important for wildlife, they are also essential for people. More than 8 million South Florida residents depend on water supplied by the Everglades. The Everglades also reduce flooding by storing large amounts of rainwater during storms. Without healthy wetlands, flooding becomes more common and more severe. The ecosystem supports commercial fishing, recreational boating, bird watching, and ecotourism, all which contribute billions of dollars to Florida economy each year. If the efforts to restore the Everglades were not successful, communities could face higher flood risks, decline in water quality, and significant economic losses. One of the most important restoration projects is the CERP, the Comprehensive Everglades Restoration Plan. This program began on the 2000, and it's a partnership between the federal government and the state of Florida. It's considered the largest ecosystem restoration project in the states. The main goals are to restore natural water flow, improve water quality, increase freshwater storage, and restore habitats for native wildlife. Some major projects include building reservoirs, expanding stormwater treatment areas that remove pollutants, modifying canals, and restoring wetlands that were previously drained. Although restoration is expected to take several decades, many projects have already shown positive environmental improvements. Scientists and environmental managers use several strategies to restore the Everglades. One important strategy is restoring wetlands so they can once again store and filter water naturally. Water quality is being improved by reducing phosphorus pollution from agricultural runoff. Scientists also restore native vegetation and carefully monitor wildlife population to measure the success of restoration projects. All these efforts require cooperation between federal, state, tribal, and local agencies, as well as universities and environmental organizations. Despite significant progress, many challenges remain. Um, Restoration is extremely expensive, requires long term funding. Um, South Florida continues to experience rapid population growth, increasing the demand for fresh water and land development. Climate change also creates new challenges, um, and finding a balance between protecting the environment and meeting the needs of people remain one of the biggest challenges facing restoration efforts. The future of the Everglades depends on continued commitment to restorations. Um, Although complete restoration will take many years, current progress shows that long term investment can produce meaningful environmental improvements. In conclusion, the Everglades are one of the most valuable ecosystems in South Florida and the United States. Um, Continuous scientific research, government cooperation, and public supports will be essential to ensuring the Everglades remain healthy for future generations. That was my presentation. Thank you so much for listening. I'm sick. I'm sorry if that was any inconvenience. Thank you for listening. My name is Heba Gonzalez. Thank you.